Welcome everyone to our bi-weekly deep dive. If you can hear me, please type in the chat where you're joining us from and what you're looking to gain in this section. I'm excited for us to have this section today. And once again, I want to welcome you to Nigeria N365 community, where you get to know everything on Office 365, enterprise mobility, security, and Windows 365. And currently, we've been running our Copilot series. This is our third edition. And if you joined our last edition, you will get significant knowledge on what Copilot, the productivity that you gain with Copilot. And this series is simply to get you more accustomed to using Copilot agents and understand all the productivity measures you get by using Microsoft 365 and all the Microsoft tools. So in our section today, we'll be introducing you to Copilot agents and creation. Like I said before, we've dived deep into all of this in our first and second section. And if you missed any one of them, please go back to our YouTube channel, which we will share later on in this section to watch it. Our section today will be focused specifically on Copilot agents and creation. My name is Juliet, and I'll be your moderator for this section. The brief things you know about me is I'm passionate about technology and getting people to know about tech and how they can get into tech careers. I have experience in data analytics, operation, public relation, and currently I specialize in data governance. And our speaker today is Paul. Paul has been sharing his experience and insight in our community for the past couple of years. And in this particular section, we are diving deep into Copilot and how you can use it, whether you are a student, a professional working on Microsoft admin, and also helping you to get significant skills in building Copilot and understanding the productivity you can gain from other Microsoft 365 tools. So Paul is a two times Microsoft MVP. He's into products, cloud, and a platform engineer. And over the years, he has been at a renowned technology company that partners with Microsoft. Paul, beyond his day job, he's a community leader who is passionate about giving back to the community. And you can see the way he teaches, the way he coaches people that come for this section, and the way he answers their question with humility. So he has been an active contributor to the Microsoft 365 community, and he regularly shares his practical knowledge, mentors professionals, and deliver technical sections that help individuals and organizations maximize the value of Microsoft technology. Bob believes that strong communities are built by professionals who are committed to sharing their knowledge and lifting others. So thank you so much, Paul, for all you do for the community. With time, you get to know about him and when he also starts speaking. Another person I would love you to know is Olajumoke, who is the founder of this great community and has been on this for the past, he has been working in IT and service industry for the past 18 years. Madam Olajumoke has superior expertise in developing, implementing, and supporting complex infrastructure and technical solutions for various industry verticals. She is a Microsoft certified trainer, a Microsoft an MVP as well in M365 apps and services award category, a community leader, and she's also the tech co-founder of Techstyler. So she is currently the founder and leader of our community. So thank you for all you do. Now, a little bit of ground rules as you are joining this section. Please be aware, first of all, that this section will be recorded and will be made available for future viewing. Please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Pen down your question until the question and answer section. You can follow us on Twitter, on LinkedIn as well. It's called Microsoft 365 Community. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which will be shared back later. And then our also feedback section. If you got value from any of our sections, please share your feedback and let us know how we can improve to serve you better. At this juncture, I would like to welcome the speaker, to the section today, Paul. Please let's give a round of applause for our speaker as he joined us. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Julius. Thank you, everybody that have joined so far. I'm really delighted to be here with you once again. It's been a journey from the beginning of this session on Copilots, and gradually we've moved from the foundation to just knowing what it is in theory to seeing how it can improve our productivity and putting it into use directly. Today, we're taking it a little bit further to seeing how we can actually make Copilot work for us beyond just using it. We might just be the one to build what we want this to be doing over time, right? So that is where we are diving into right now. Permit me to share my screen in just a couple of minutes. Okay. So first, I'll just take us through a few slides just to engage with us and and show us what Copilot what's it called now? Copilot agents really are. Okay, so please, if you can see my screen, you can just give me a quick thumbs up so we can proceed. I'm not seeing any yet. Can we all see my screen?
I've seen the thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so yes, this is what we have. Microsoft Copilot Agents and the AI agent creation. So we want to build focus, and then we'll see how the Copilot, the Microsoft Copilot that you use, the brain behind it. When we were talking about grounding, we are talking about the governance. We were just talking basically about the prompting and what have you. Yeah, we'll just get to see a little on what all of those are and how we can build our own agents to function. So to begin, we will just see this is the roadmap for today, which we'll just start by understanding what agents are and then how they can create values to our work. Choosing the kind of agents that we want to build, and then yes, we would build one or two across different platforms. We're going to be using Copilot Studio specifically, but we may see the need to touch SharePoint, for example, and then from there we'll see some of those attributes that Copilot Agent has. Talking about knowledge, you talk about tools, and then we'll talk about the workflow, the security, lifecycle, and the measurement. So what are agents? Agents are simple. I think we are earlier discussed it in the course of our first and second session to be a specialized assistant that is built or designed for a particular course, that is built to take charge of most especially automated, repetitive tasks. If we have tasks that keep reoccurring over time, we probably want to get an agent that can, be dealing with that task when it is required. We have what we call autonomous agents, for example, that can take decisions on their own, and then they can basically work for you and render some services without your own intervention as human beings. In building agents, there are two things basically that we make use of. One is the knowledge. And then in the course of our first and second session, we were talking about sources, we were talking about references. That is where we want co-pilots to really focus on, where we want them to get information from. That is what source is in Copilot Agents. You reference sources, you supply it with knowledge as per where you want its content to be coming from. And then we talk about actions. When we talk about repetitive tasks, something you do often, when you do something, it's an action, rather than going over them manually. You can pull up some tools together and workflow together to say, okay, at this point, go from this stage to this stage and perform this action for me. So they basically help you to complete your work. So the Microsoft 365 agent landscape, two things to primarily build, or the approach to which we should look at when building Copilot, when building a Copilot agent, specifically in Copilot Studio. We want to make use of Microsoft orchestrators and models where we configure instructions. Basically, you know what instructions are. Instruction, I would say they are prompts, they are basically prompts that tells the agent what to do and how to do them, what to expect and what to respond with. While the custom agent, it brings about a tailored orchestration model stack for advanced control, hosting, and specialized requirements. This is basically talking about the task execution as we have it. So in Microsoft Copilot agents, we can basically still build a light agent, for example, from Microsoft 365 Copilot, where we've been doing our prompting, making requests and getting back requests, the basic charts, bots, and then the work environment. We can build a light agent there. And in that case, it doesn't really, talking about declarative agents now, it doesn't really carry out tasks on their own. What they do is that they work majorly with instructions and then knowledge. Those are what they basically do for you. You want to be interacting with it more like a chatbot to get information based on what you have supplied it to do or what you have given the sources you have given to it to always reference. Yes, the tools agent builder. So we can see Copilot agents as a no or low code agent creation, where you do not need to really write a lot of codes to say, okay, this is where you want to start, like a developer. You don't really need knowledge of coding. All you just need to know is just the process. So, for example, in Microsoft there are what we call pre-built agents, which we've also have talked about over time. And when you go to a licensed environment, the first two agents you want to see to even tell you that this is a licensed environment, the researcher and the analyst, they are both built to perform a particular task at a particular time. While we also have the prompting coach and then we have the writing coach. The prompt coach is available for both the licensed and the unlicensed environment. So basically, the availability of these agents depend on the environment that you are working with. It could be dependent on your account license. It could be dependent on your admin settings. It could be dependent on your organization rollout. So we want to talk about SharePoint agent because yes, obviously SharePoint has their own agents that you can build within those SharePoint. You can start with a content. Let's say you can even tailor it to the site, a document library, a folder, a document, and what have you, right? So you just build it around those content and they become the brain or knowledge on which those that agent will now be acting upon. Tailor the experience and define identity, purpose, instruction. So this is where you tell us that, okay, this is what you are meant to do. This is what you are not meant to do using the information that are supplied to you from this library, from these folders, from this site, or from this file itself. Share responsibility. Yes, we cannot overemphasize this. We have talked a lot about permission in an environment that Copilot respects the permissions that you have to document or resources within that environment. If you do not have access, Copilot should not have access as well. So that is where these shared responsibilities comes in place. And some of the examples that we can use for this particular agent is project knowledge. So let's say you have a project you are working on with teams, you create a dedicated SharePoint site for that team, and then you decide to stack that particular team with that particular site with all the documents you are working with. So you can basically build an agent for that site to quickly get information about the project you are building. Talking about onboarding, let's say for HRO, there is always a default SharePoint site if you are building SharePoint for HRO, for onboarding, and what have you. The agents built on such sites can help you quickly pull information about HRO policies, for example, can processes as well, a lot, right? All you just need to do is, rather than going through one document or the other, trying to find relevant information, you can just go straight to that particular agent to say, hey, please, I need to get this and that. You just need to be specific with your instruction, which we know as prompting, and then immediately scan through the documents, and before you know it, it points you straight to what you need to know. Now, declarative agents, these are focused Copilot experiences. Beyond just knowledge and instruction, this one you tend to add actions to them, what you want to be working underground, while Copilot remains the front end uses for the persons or people that will be making use of that particular agent. While instructions remains, knowledge remains, actions will be more like a backend that actually does the work, more like the engine, while Copilot remains the front end for the end user. All right, so Copilot Studio. Why do we use Copilot Studio? Now, it is visual, low-code authoring, knowledge plus tools and flows. That is the added addition or advantage that Copilot gives to you. Business logic and orchestration, lifecycle management with Power Platform. Yes, that is very, very important. Just imagine building a full flow and you just want to integrate it with your agent, all you need to do is to come to Copilot Studio and you create your agent, integrate your flows with your agent, and before you know, you have a functioning agent that is meant to perform even in some cases robust tasks, right? So those are examples of what's the advantage of using Copilot Studio are. Now, action-based agents design with control. What it does is you send in your request, it understands the request, and then it interprets it. There is decision for always to make. Now, that decision is basically based on your instruction. At this point, what do I do? There is what we call topics in Copilot Studio, for example, where you define the steps that the agent should follow in executing task. Now, if you said good morning, the agent wants to check, wants to check that what should I use to respond to this good morning. Should I trigger a tool? Should I trigger a workflow? Based on the instruction that you have given to it, it will decide and then quickly take an action. Now that action will now act based on, the action is deciding on what to do next. Now that what to do next will now become the act to perform. That is now the actual action, the actual work that it wants to, do. Then at the end of the day, it returns the results to you. You make your confirmation, and if all is good, that means all is good. And if not, you probably want to check why and maybe make certain adjustments where necessary. So yeah, control point, least privilege, permission, human approval for sensitive actions, not just for sensitive actions alone. Anything AI, anything Copilot, anything that you are giving instruction to give you results, we need to first of all understand that it doesn't function on its own. It doesn't has a brain on its own. Yes, they are your assistants, but they do not function until you ask them to function. They cannot act on their own until you ask them to act. So I would always say that Copilots is banking on your brain to function. And as a result, you should not be so confident in what is giving you, no matter how juicy it may look. It is always responsible and encouraged for you to take a look again into it and validate every point that is giving you. All right. Over here, pro code when deeper control is justified. These one are actually advanced agent toolkits, yeah, you do a deep integration when you need to connect external or line of business system, external tools and what have you. This majorly is for developers, not just for people who wants to build simple agents like that we are doing today. This just needs to come in just so we know that, okay, beyond the agents we are building, there are more that you can actually do beyond the agents that we are looking at today. So grounding, make knowledge deliberate. Grounding, talk about knowledge, you talk about source, you talk about references. So now I would always say that the outcome of your desired results, right? The outcome of what Copilot is giving you back is solemnly dependent on three actions. One, the prompts that you give to it. Secondly, is the grounding. Where is it getting the information from, right? Those are the first two items that determines the outcome of what Copilot is giving you. Now, the third item is human verification. That now implies to the final decision and take on what Copilot has given you, not just, hey, it has given me something, let me go with it. You have sent your prompts, it is detailed, it is straightforward, it is direct, it has all the item and the necessity that a prompt should have. That prompt alone is not enough. The other thing is the grounding, where it's getting your response from. Because if you are asking for ABCD, for example, and then no matter how detailed you are, and your referencing is pointing hands to where you have ABCD, then you, sorry, 1, 2, 3, you may probably have issues with that, right? So you may not get the accurate information. And once you don't get the accurate information and you go ahead to accept whatever it has given to you, then there would be a problem. And that is why I always say prompting, your grounding, very important for the outcome of what you have asked Copilot for. And the final decision relies on you as human to decide. So that is why I term these three as the most important part of getting results from any AI at all. So to create an agent, you need to decide or choose the parts that you want to build the agent on, right? We have various items, various places where we can actually build our agents. Agent Builder, no code. This one is mostly for personal or small item and productivity or small team productivity. Like I was saying, the light agent in Microsoft Copilot or Microsoft 365 Copilot, where you just go to quickly say, okay, you just need it to be performing XYZ. And before you know it, you are done with your agent creation. And that is why you see the control here is the fastest, very easy to build. Then SharePoint is also a no code. In this case, you make use of sites, details or files within the site or document library. These are attributes of SharePoint. And then in each of these, you can build documents to be knowledgeable around what the site or content of the site is all about. Very fast and easy to build as well, right? And then we come to Copilot Studio. In Copilot Studio, we have a low-code build approach, right? Here, there are integrations, there are workflow, there are browser deployments based on stuff that you can integrate in the process of building your agent based on it's a little bit complex, right? Yeah, but then it's still flexible and can give you a maximum report or maximum results as the case may be. And then agent tools slash SDK. This one you need to have some knowledge of coding basically for you to make use of this tool. So it is best when you are making advanced integration and engineering control for that particular agent creation, right? And then the control is maximum. Yeah, this can be very, 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 very complex. So you need to have some level of experience to use this particular tool. And decision rule, match the simplest variable tool to the business outcome, audience, and governance need. Okay, so yeah, these are opportunities for Nigerian organization using agents. One, for HRO, beyond just policy, we also have for onboarding, we can have for offboarding, build chatbots that executes actions for you. IT, it can even be for service desk. It can be for basically those things that your colleagues, your co-employees in the organization usually raise issues on. Let's say password reset, for example. Staffs are always coming to the IT department to say they want to reset their password, they want to reset their password. You can build an agent that can help in resolving that issue in the sense that the user can come and say, hey, please, how do I reset my password? And the agent will give it the answer based on your organizational settings and policy, rather than going to the public websites to go and check for Microsoft documentation and then giving it a lead or steps to go ahead to do the password reset. No, this will now be built around your organizational policy, and it makes the work now become easier for the IT team. You now discover that your office will not be getting filled every now and then as it used to. The requests that will be coming to your table will now be minimal because this agent now exists, and then people can easily go to get requests from there. Um, how it can even really assist in HR, for example, people before taking some decision that they do not know whether the policy of the organization supports, they can easily go there to ask questions before they go ahead to violate any law or take any decision that may result to violation of rules and regulation of the organization. So projects, these are basically, let's say for SharePoint now. So from here, you can always go check status of your projects, how they are going, because you are updating the SharePoint. You want to know what belongs to who, the next line of action, all of those will probably have been saving in the document library of a particular site based on the project. You can easily go use the chatbot to interact to quickly get responses to what the agent, what the progress the project is making, right? And then for research, we have, for example, the Tribute Agent, which is researcher that can help you carry out a lot of research, and then it gives you recommendation for your organization based on the need and the prompting that you are supplied to say you want certain things at a certain time, right? And then operations, talking about procedures, which we have talked about in IT as well, leadership, and many other segments of an organization, right? It cuts across every aspect of a corporate organization, how they operate, and then how Copilot can come in, assist you in all of these areas. So yeah, a practical agent creation flow. Yes, you do not just jump up one morning and say you want to create an agent. No, there must be a problem to solve. There must be an audience that needs something. There must be an outcome that is expected. So you must first of all identify why you need to create the agent, the problem that is meant to solve, how is going to solve it. Now, when you have all of this in place, you can now proceed by the design. When you design, you build, you test. Yes, after testing and you are sure that everything is in place, you can now roll out, you publish, and then you roll out for operation for every other person to begin the use, right? As of today, we are going to start very small, just building 1 or 2 agents there, and we'll see how it works real life, and then maybe we can recreate when we have the opportunity, when we have the environment to, and probably in our environment, introduce Copilot agents to them, how it can solve problems for them, and then you may just be the user or the person who would build their first agent to solve a problem, a recurring problem, especially that needed something to be tackling it every now and then. So yeah, another thing is trust is part of the product, and that is governance. You know, Microsoft will never play with anything permission or access. No. From the beginning of our cloud computing experiences where we started learning about Entra ID, there is no how you would be transitioning into cloud computing, for example, especially in the part of Microsoft 365 that identity and access management would not be one of those key areas that you needed to be taught. Talking about authentication, talking about authorization, talking about accountability, right? So yeah, those are major area. So your permission is important, and then I know we still remember the idea of zero trust in cybersecurity. And then when you talk about zero trust, you are basically saying trust no one, not even yourself, right? You need to verify explicitly every information that is coming in. You need to verify identity and access that everybody needs to have. You don't just trust, right? You don't just trust everybody or anybody at all. So you must still pull your agency checks, ensure that it's properly governed, right? Data compliance. Here we now want to talk about purview, your information, sensitive labels that you have, retention, tax, auditing, and data loss prevention, and all of those things needs to also be put into place. For example, if I as a person is not supposed to have access to a particular application, then it wouldn't be wise for me to use this to build an agent and then roll it out to me to now use and start getting first-hand information based on the content on that particular document that I'm not supposed to have access to. All right, so inventory and life cycle, on approval publishing, agents you create, you can delete, you can modify, you can, monitoring basically at the end of the day. So you need to know when this needs to still be used, when to improve it, when it's no longer in need, when you needed to delete it, and all of those. And then human oversight. So always review, basically human responsibility. You do not take that away from agent creation, Copilot, and even AI at large. Best practices and common failure modes, right? So to begin, one clear use case, know what you want to do, what you want to design for, right? Ensure that the knowledge you are supplying is the right one that will give clear answers or responses to what you are requesting for, what the end user will be requesting for. And then purposeful instructions, of course, that is where you describe what it needs to do and what not to do. Real user evaluation. After creation, you share with users to use, give feedback, and see where improvement can be needed. That validation, simply put, they need to validate this to be good and all right and ready to go. Okay, name, owner, and then lifecycle. So one thing that, or some of the things that you need to avoid is the scope idea of building a particular agent to do everything. You know, there has to be tailored, stored, or overshared content. Yeah, overshared content, oversharing is sharing information to people who should not have access to them. So you should avoid building agents with information that shouldn't be available to everybody ideally when the agent, for example, is meant to be available, for example. So you need to know the people that will be using it, the information available to them, and what you should use as a knowledge on those agents. So uncontrolled actions, maybe you don't have a plan, you just want to build. Yes, we do that for practical, but when it comes to real case scenario, you need to have a measurement plan, right? No support or retirement path. Of course, you can't build an agent and just expect it to be working every now and then. There would always be time for breaks and then uh, time to review, time to make adjustments. It can break, it can lose trust at some point. You need to reestablish all of those. So yes, the best agent is not the most complex. I'll confess this. The first time, or even till today, I would not lie, I want to build agents. I'm just thinking of the most complex situation that the agent can serve. As I'm reaching this goal to say, okay, let's say I want to build an agent that will help me create a user. As I'm succeeding in doing that, the next thing I'm thinking, how can it create two? Then as I'm achieving that, the next thing, how can I make upload? At the end of the day, you either end up complete or having an agent confused, or having an agent that never really gets completed, in the sense that you would be encountering errors. You are never satisfied by what you have. However, you can have make a copy of it, and then try to improve on it like that. As you get a better result, you should now see the need to uh, do away with the previous version, which you are having as a separate agent on its own. Then why not? You can go on and do that for yourself. All right, so yes, the best agent is the one that solves a clear problem with trusted knowledge, the right actions, and then responsible governance. Yes, this is where we draw the curtain for just the definition, and I hope we are still within time. Okay, for 46, yes, that means we would have a lot of time to actually build and see what we can achieve with Copilot agents. So, ladies and gentlemen, Juliet, if you can hear me, of course, I know you can. I think this is where I drop this for now. If perhaps there are questions that we need to ask, areas we need clarification on, please, I think it's time we can signify, ask our questions before we move on to the cloud to actually create an agent.
Thank you very much for that, Paul. Please ask your question. You can also type in the chat if you've got any question before we move to the practical section. Any question? I will take this.
There seems to be none, right?
Yeah, so that okay, someone is typing. Bolaji is typing. All
Okay.
right. All right, that's okay. So, please, while we continue with the practical section, I'm going to send our feedback form. Please let us know how we are doing. Give us feedback to improve our section and to serve you better. So over to you, Paul.
All right, sure. Thank you very much. Okay, moment. All right, I'm just going to share my screen again, and then we can start. Yeah. Okay, please, can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Oh, all right. So, this, how come I have a premium in my personal account and I'm not aware? All right, all good, all good. Okay, all right. So, this is Microsoft 365 Copilot. You know, when you now if you open office.com, this is what you see as the landing page. It brings you to the Copilot chat pane, and here you can start asking your first questions. And as you can see, I'm just discovering for the first time that I have Microsoft Copilot license in my personal account. I've never been aware of this. And how did I know? I just signed in now. How did I know? I know one, based on this pre-pinned, pre-built agent and also the pre-pinned agents. These two are always pre-built and pre-pinned. And then again, there is no chart available for me here, so I've not carried out any chart. So yes, one of those things we can do is to start with charts. Hello, okay, we can do hello. What is Copilot Agents, right? And then we send. Yeah, this is the model that we are using right away. Up to you can always change in between. So specialized AI assistants, perform specific tasks, access knowledge sources, and what have you. So that is that for that. And these are agents that we have. So now what happens if I want to build an agent, right? If I want to build an agent, I can come here, click on agents. I should see new agents here. For this, I'm not seeing it in this new account. Let me just quickly switch. Let me switch to this. All right. All right. Okay, so over here, I think if I had entered there even more agents, I should have seen it. So this is where you build your light agents, your Copilot light agents. This is where you actually build your light agent. And then remember when we are talking about declarative agents, we talked about building an agent that are just meant to, a no-code agent that are just meant to probably, let's say, answer questions and then just do basic things for us, right? So over here, I can over here and then I'll click on this light agent. Okay, so now there are, when you come to this page, this is it. One is saying build your own specialist agent, right? Yeah, there is an option for me to skip. If I skip, That means that I'm going to start my own customization from ground, including instruction, description, names, and what have you. But if I should come here to type what I want my agents to be doing for me, then this Copilot itself would help me create an agent based on what I have described for me to now further refine in either the instruction, which would obviously be filled for me based on my input here, and then the description and the name, the logo, and what have you. Myself will now begin to make all of those changes by myself. I don't know, anybody can just, from the call, anybody can just give us an idea from the charts, the kind of agents we would love us to build using the declarative agents or light agent versions, and agents that only define, or an agent that only answers questions, or that are more like a chatbot based on the supplied knowledge and the instructions that we have given to it. So if you have any idea in your mind on what we should build, you can just drop it. Here you feel that Copilot agents can help you to carry out some basic tasks amongst your everyday tasks, your day-to-day activities at the office, at home, and you just want Copilot to ease you the stress of doing too much at a particular time. One that I know of, too common, that I've built over time is the email agent that will help you to draft email based on the knowledge that you have supplied to it. Okay, just in case we do not have anyone on the charts, I will just proceed by describing an agent based on what I have explained in the line of emails, and then we'll see how we can build it. And don't forget, you can use templates to start, plan my day. Maybe you want an agent that will be helping you to plan your days. You project data digest. These are agents that are already in place. Microsoft had already, built all of these, and then you probably now want to make a few changes to them. You come to the instruction, you tweak it to your own need, and then yeah, you are done. This is an already made template, right? There are more. If you can do view all, you will see a lot here that you can just pick a template here, and then you build on it to meet your own needs. My agent, you see this one I just clicked on, is picking it as mine. And then you see email style responder. Yes, I've used this before. Email responder as well, HR assistant. You can view all from here. You see a lot of agents that you can, your own agents. This time around, it's not like you building it from scratch. It's more or less you coming to edit, right? It's you coming to edit what you have. Okay, so I'll just show us how it looks like when you want to build a fresh agent. But first of all, let me skip. So when I skip, it takes us to this particular place. You can see everywhere is blank, right? Everywhere is blank. We do not have anything here. And yes, I can start with my name and the name of my agent. You see it's in configuration. I can take it to preview. And this interface, you see it is splitted into two now, is because of my screen size. If I should zoom, okay. Okay, we've not built anything. So let's just wait and get something built, right? So yeah, when you skip, you can always still come here and you can still make use of these charts to describe what you want, right? The first thing is, let me just keep it simple and short just so we can be quick with our time, because eventually we are going to make use of an agent that we already have existing here just to show us around. First thing I want to do is to say, I want an agent that will be helping with um answering my org policy related questions, right? This is me just sending this to Copilot to help me build. Then if I enter, let's see what we have next. And don't mind me, very soon I may get logged out. Just in case I got logged out, just give me a moment to quickly jump back, right? It shouldn't take time. So now I have entered what I wanted from the description, the build an agent or agent builder description. You see, it still brings us to the same page, right? And over here, I only say I want an agent that will be helping with answering my org, that is my organization policy related questions. And it's reasoned in 2 steps. And then it say, here is a draft of your org policy advisory agent. Now, immediately it gave it a name. This is the name. Over here, I can go ahead to say edit if I don't want the name, right? I can come here and then I will edit the name, right? I can turn it to advisor. And one thing is, it saves as you go on. If you check this place, right? As you are just typing immediately, it is saving for you. It saves as you go. Now, let's say I don't want to change the name from here. I can still come here and start typing, or maybe I want to, these are the instruction, right? Maybe the instruction is not capturing what I want at all, and I need to make major changes to them. I can come here and say, this is not what I want. Then I go further to explain or describe what I want, including changing the name to HRO, or let's use the name M365 Community Policy, right? If I do this, now look at the name, it will be changing as we go, right? Okay. So it's trying to modify the name. I'm just giving you instances here. So immediately you see the name changes. And if you have made major changes to the how the agent should operate, then it's going to change these instructions entirely. You see the instruction, how detailed it is, right? And then if you come here, this is the description. This is the description: help employee find, interpret, and apply organization policy using internal OneDrive and SharePoint content. It answers policy questions clearly, summarizes this and that, right? Then there is this instruction here. If you check here, it defines direct the behavior of the agent, including its task and how it completes them. If you check here, you see suggest improvement. So there are some improvements that it can, suggest. And then you come here, it just drop it here for you, and then you can send it. You can be interacting with this guy while still building this guy. And if you want to see the full instruction pane, you can click on this guy, see the full description, or sorry, instruction to properly make changes to them where necessary. So now this is this is the suggestion, improvement suggestion that is giving me. These instructions are strong, but they could be more consistent in how the agent should, pull questions. One, add the standard answer format, and then all of this, right? You can say apply only local days. There are always, suggested prompts for you. Then what I'm trying to say in essence is Copilot can help you build an agent as you go forward. Now, if you come to this knowledge side, over here, you can see this instruction. You can always click on it to this more information icon to read more about what a particular field is telling you. And in this place, it's saying available knowledge sources may be vary based upon the product license. Okay, just telling you more about that, right? And then I refresh knowledge source name, and you can refer. We've not added any knowledge source. Now, these are some of the places I can add knowledge source. One, I can add from my SharePoint. Now, clicking on my SharePoint, you see what we already have. We have, these are some of the contents in my SharePoint. Nigerian 365 Module 3, Nigerian 365 Agent Module 3, Nigerian 365 Module 3, this. Now, let's say I just want the information to be around this. Okay, let me change this. So I need the agents to guide users on how to, sorry. Okay, on how to create declarative agents for Nigeria and 365 community, right? And I'm hitting on enter here. So now of my file here to be a knowledge source, you see it's already picked this. I can decide to say I want to, from Teams, I want to select a chart, based on the contents in a channel, right? As you can see here, channel, because it's in channel. These are the filters, group charts, the same thing, meeting charts, all of those you can select. And then sites, you can say, okay, you want the agents to be pulling information from a full site, right? You can also say you want the agents to be pulling information from a particular website, right? This is everything. Okay. Now, for this is actually saying to, sorry, when you enter this site, you come here to enter the URL, right? You come here to enter the URL. So let's say, let me do this and then remove. You can always remove, right? You can always remove. You can open the content, the documents to see the content. Then you can always remove. Then you come here, you enter the name of the URL. Let's say www.facebook.com, and then you say slash okay. So yes, you see it, you just enter and then it picked it, right? So once that is done, you can add as many as possible, right? You can also upload from your local device. Once I click here, it takes me to my local device. I can go to where I have my document, and then I pick on this guy again. You'll see it coming here, right? is coming here, uploaded file. So it will segment them and tell you where it's picking each of the knowledge sources. Then again, you see this guy here, search all websites to limit result to specific sites. Now, for you that will probably be trying this out using the free
Hello, everyone. It seems we lost him. I'm sure he would be trying to join now. All right, thanks for that. How is the class going so far? You can let me know in the comment section. All right. Thanks for that. Interesting. Great. Thanks for that. I saw a thumbs up as well. Making a whole lot of sense. Thank you. Oh, that's good. Has any of you been working with Copilot and Agents recently? Or it is just the first time? All right, Paul is here. Welcome back, Paul.
Yes, Julius, thank you very much. So sorry, apologies. I sure expected that by the way, but then I didn't have control over it. Okay, so please let me know once you can see my screen again.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So now look at this guy. Yeah, you can see search all websites, right? If I should toggle this on, that means that any question at this point, my search will not be limited to the knowledge base that I have supplied. It can go anywhere to pull information from me, right? So it is always best, especially when you are doing it for your organization for a specific purpose. The public internet has opinions about things, and many people has based on the opinions they have dropped on the websites on the internet. The opinions varies from one destination to another. So in order not to get confusion, the public opinion may not align well with the organization policy or structure. So it is always advised to toggle this off just so your search can be limited. You may not have all of this option when you are building with a free environment. Okay, you may only have the public website option or not. Okay, however, you can still decide to tailor your search to a particular website while you toggle this off. You only use specified resources. So this, yes, you can, toggle this on. It is, as a matter of fact, recommended because you don't want the search to go outside of the scope, which is the knowledge that you are supplied it's right. Referencing org chart and profile info. Yeah, the last time, I think the first time we make use of Copilot chart, which is our first session, I asked questions about people in my organization, and then it was able to give me responses. And if you go to your organization, right, if you go to your organization, if you work with corporate environments that make use of Microsoft products, you will see that if you go to Teams and you search for a particular user in Teams or even in Outlook, there is always this option of organization. if you click on the organization, you'll see the hierarchy of that person, the people the person is reporting to, the people they've worked with recently, and the people that are reporting to them, right? If you want the agents to be able to reference those charts, those organizations that you normally see in Teams, and you want to see the profile of people within the organization, you can as well toggle this on and off. Then if you come down here, these are creation capabilities. In Copilot charts, you can build a very beautiful slide. In our second session, where we make use of practical problem and try to resolve it from email to Word documents to from email to Excel to Word documents to PowerPoint and then to Loop, right? We were able to create document. Which one was this Word document as well as the PowerPoint presentation that we created, and we were able to analyze the charts or the Excel sheets that we received from the email. If you also want these particular agents to be able to write documents or to create documents, right, you can toggle this on. If you also want it to be able to create image, you can as well toggle this on and off. Okay. Yes, coming to suggested prompts. What are suggested prompts? Suggested prompts are those prompts you will see comes up originally when you open the chat. They are just there, right? Let's give an example. If I open a new tab and I do office.com, if I do office.com and I sign in, yes, you see these guys that are here. These guys are what we call suggested prompt. Although these are pulled from prompt gallery, right? But they are what we call suggested prompt. I can easily just click on this and then this, and then it's give me this when it's my next this or that. So those are what we call suggested prompt. And if I should give you a more tailored example, I would come to an agent here, right? Now, seeing this agent, we have 3 suggested prompts here. And if I do more, we'll now have 4, right? Now, inside this 4, I can decide to click on this guy. Once I click on it, you see it gives me something already, right? It doesn't require my effort to start typing what I want from scratch. It's already pre-populated. All I just need is a click, and then I'll hit on enter. So you probably fix oh, did I go back? Sorry, a moment, my system is hanging. Okay. Oh, okay. So I don't really need to start typing onboard a user, account. Yeah, you see onboard new user. This is the title and this is the actual prompt. So the same thing you would apply here. If you can think of frequent answers or frequent questions that end users will be asking, right? Then you probably want to title it draft my agent, then you give it a message. Now, if you should sign into these, if you should sign into your environment, you want to make use of this agent, this particular suggested prompt will be populated for you to just click and enter. Those are what we call suggested prompts. You can add more prompts. If I should add more, it's going to create an empty, enter a title, and enter a message for me. Then I will enter them. This enter a message are the actual prompts. I can delete and I can move. I can arrange or move the prompts in order of how I want them to arrange, which should come first. Like this one, you can see the first one is onboard a new user, and then bulk user onboarding of board, So that is how you arrange them, what to come first and what not to come first, and what to follow as well. So yeah, this configure, you can click on it and preview. This is you wanting to test, right? You want to test what you have built so far. Now that you want to test to ensure that everything is in place and working properly, you come here. These are the suggested prompts, right? Okay, before I even go there, I'll just close this. Oh, I should have gone back to, let me see. It's not saved, but I think it should be in draft. Okay, let me do this. Create agent again. We've not really done much, so I can start all over again. Let me see if I'll get it. Okay, yes, this is it. So it's in my draft. I'm able to get it back. Okay, beautiful. So here in my draft, in this icon, right, I can decide to edit this icon by just clicking on it. Now, there are various ways you can generate an icon. You can just say, you can describe the icon for agents, for Copilot to build it for you. Agent creation, right? Is okay. You can send it. It will just take a little while for Copilots to help you come up with a design that aligns with the description you have sent. Please don't follow me as I'm just sending these 2-letter words. This is not prompt, right? This is not proper. A prompt should have audience, it should have a purpose, it should have a context, and it should have an expected output, right? So if you must generate the image, you need to be able to give it a proper prompting. Don't just limit it to just 1 or 2 word wording. No, it will not be proper. Another way, so I don't think we want to wait for this to create. Okay, so another thing we can do is to come to browse. Now, if you come to browse, you'll see all of these images here that if it's finance, if it's duplicate ski, if it's verbal, whatever, you can just quickly hit on it and then it turns to this. You can as well change the accent color to this. These are just simple designs that you can make. But if your organization has probably built a kind of logo for the or icon for the particular agent and you have it saved, you can just call ahead and upload from your local device. You can do a drag and drop, or you simply click on this. I don't think I have an image here. Okay, I do. Let me do this, right? So you can come up with something like this. You see the background is black. I can decide to change. Okay, this is still the full image. So what you have here, because the image is not filled, it doesn't fill this background. You can decide to just change the accent color that will be surrounding it. You can decide to remove it. Remove accent color. So it will just be plain and be limited to this image. You can as well remove the image, right? So now for the one that Copilot generated for us, this is what we have. We can apply this. So we now have this as our icon. So let us preview and see. So if you now come to preview, this is what you have. You have this icon there. Now, if you click on draft my agent, here you see, help me turn this idea into a declarative agent, an assistant that answers employee questions about HRO policy using official this and that, right? I can send it and then it's processing, right? Processing to just give you answers. And, our configuration says it should be limited to what we have in our document, and none actually states how to build an agent, I doubt. So let's see what it's going to give us. So it's the searching. So ideally, another important thing is you can tell us that if the answer is not in your instruction, right? If the answer is not within the recommended agents, the recommended knowledge, it should avoid any assumption, right? And it should go ahead to say, oh, sorry, I cannot answer you at this time, as this is not within the scope of my operation. You can just give it a description that is a description that just give it a straight no, so that when you are using the agent, it can be able to say this and it can be able to say no at any point as it will be required. Then we have this link that is referencing here. I don't even know what this is. It's a particular document. Let's open in a new tab. You know, all your answers will always be referenced and your references will be given to you. Absolutely. This is an excellent first declarative agent use case because it is focused, document grounded, and easy to test. Your Nigerian 25 community material specifically identifies HRO policy guidance as a strong opportunity and recommends building agents ground authoritative knowledge, purposeful instruction this. So, okay, I think is giving response from this our model, because all of that is where this we are stated, right? And that is where that is the reference it gives us, and we click on it and then we got this. So this is where it's answering us from. Okay, recommended agent step name, HRO policy, and then it's now just giving you stuff that you can do. However, we could have, all of this could have been avoided if we don't want this to go ahead. Your work, okay, is referencing another document here, recommended build approach. What could possibly be here? Okay, now is referencing Microsoft documentation, which is not supposed to be. All right. Now, testing can quite be different from when it is published, actually, right? You can publish already, and if this agent is meant not to go to the website or referencing, because it's going to the public website by going to, if you sit down here, just look at this place. When I over here on this guy, you see that it's bringing up a link to enter, right? Ideally, it shouldn't go there at all, because his knowledge should be within, this is the site is referencing, right? His knowledge should be within the agents, the resources that we have supplied. I think that was what our configuration is. Search all internet, yes. Use only specified resources, yes. So it doesn't have any right. Should we go ahead and create? Okay, let's create. So now we have our first simple declarative agents, right? It's just coming up. This we can share with colleagues. We can start to use it. So the agent is currently private and only available to you. Yes, at the moment it's only available to me. So let's open it and see what we have. This is what we have, and it was created by Paul Ogboriefor. So let's send this particular prompt again and see. M365 agent coach is just checking to see what it has for us. Again, is going to the public internet from the look of things. Although I referenced HRO sites, but then it shouldn't go to the public internet. This knowledge source, okay, is referencing one of our documents, agent modification, and this. Okay, this also is referencing our documents. Is there any place it's reference public internet? Okay, at this point, it's not referencing any public internet. Web search, risk conflicting with internal policy, image generation not needed, external actions, okay. So capability, okay, just showing the capability, right? So basically all all his what is it called? His reference are on our document. So what needed tightening, right? What we need to tighten now for this particular agent is you can always start a new chart, right? What we need to tighten now, we need to tighten the instruction. We need to tighten the instruction. This one is when you want to download the application, not this. So for that, we can as well come to new agent again. On new agent, we come here to do my agent. We open this. We need to tighten the instruction and set boundaries inside this is what instruction. So that is what needed tightening. Now, this time around is no longer update, is no longer create, is now update because we are making updates to it. You can check the details of the agents here, and then these are just the agents, Microsoft 5 Copilots for this. You can share with people within your organization, outside. Yeah, you just type names and then the org-wide sharing for chat access. Share with everybody. You can copy link. I'm trying to search, but search is not working. Oh, sorry. Okay, I see. I clicked on this voice. So you can use voice to send your prompt as well, right? It's just, trying to write up everything that I have spoken about. So yeah, you can search. You can search for people you want to share with. And let's say this, right? And then you give them access here, the permission they should have to the agent, if they should only use this for chat, and if they should be able to edit, and then you can add, and that will send notification, and then all of this, they will be able access to them, give knowledge access. This is the only knowledge that is saying you should give access based on this is on my OneDrive, right? Okay. So you can copy link, you can copy edit link, this edit link now, this is just for them to be able to edit. This chat link is just for them to be able to use. Right, okay. What else do we need to see here that is of importance? This is a zip file. You can download the zip file and share. Copy to Copilot Studio as well. You can as well delete the agents. All right. So that is basically it when we talk about light version agent, right? I think let's quickly go to one that this is HR assistant, offboarding. I need something for email responding. So one that I did for email is to always respond to email in 3 formats. Now, in those 3 formats, I created a Word document that contains how I write, right? How I write. Yes, this is the document. This is something you can as well implement. So I should be able to open this. Okay, my emails. Okay, this is my emails. There is no reference document here. Okay, maybe it's another one. Okay, let's see what this is. Error handling, goal, skill. Okay. So let me just get an agent that I have. Let me check this one and see what is there. So once you tell an agent, once you describe an agent here that will be responding to your email, it automatically pick this as one of your reference that the agent should have access to your emails. So what it does, this does not have a stop. So what I usually do, right, is to is to have a Word document that contains how I write, right? So that it understands my writing. Because I said it should always write in my own language and in my own tone, right? How I write, that is how I write, rather than giving me generative AI content. So ideally, if I was opening it from one of our agents, email responder, let's just come here, more agents, and then I'll search for email responder. We do not have it here. Built by Microsoft. I need an agent that is built by me. I know I deleted most of these agents actually. Okay, I can't seem to find it. I probably have deleted that. They are just still living in my drafts, right? So what I wanted to show us is once I open it, okay, these are some that I've not published. Yes, I've not published, I guess. Yes, I've not published. Okay, that is why. I think I did a test recently that I did not publish. That is why we're having them in my draft. Because I know that all of these that I created, I've actually deleted them, right? Always respond in two, always respond in two, one, concise and professional, two, detailed. Okay, this should be detailed and professional. This concise and casual, right? And then let's say 3 in French. 3 in French. All right, so I'll turn this to 3. And if I send, normally I could insert this on my own, right? But I just want it to make it look very, very good, okay? Now, if I'm doing this, right, if I should, maybe we'll have to create this too, okay? Reasoning complete. Do we have it here? Now it's not getting my stuff. I need the agents. I need the agents to always respond in 3. Okay. So let's see. So I'm only giving it access to my mailbox. Then everything else is off. I will maybe want image. Okay, so it has updated my stuff and you see require response format. It is here now, so I'll just create so that I can quickly just show us how it works before we go to Copilot Studio. All right, so I want to open it to use. This is email responder. And if I do my / I can, is this email responder? Let's be sure. Email. Supposed to be here. A moment, I'm not sure why it's not here. It's there now. Let me update again. Okay, I want to start chat with it. Okay. email responder. Is it? Let me see this. Okay. So if I do a /, I can come to my email, right? These are some of the emails that I have. These are the subjects actually. I can look for any of the email. Let's do this. I think we used this for practical the last time. So I can say draft a reply, make it for my first polite. This is when you now go further to want to refine the email, the response, and these are what we call suggested prompt. This was what we had. So if I just say draft a professional reply, I don't want to put a reply, a professional rather, draft a reply to this email and keep it concise. I don't want to put all of that. Just draft a reply to this email, right? So it will read the contents of the email and then it will write it in 3 steps, right? The first one, detailed and professional. Subject, it is replying to this guy. There, who wrote it, who sends the email. So he's able to read into the email. Thank you for sharing the laptop related data. I have completed my review, XYZ, and then kind regards. This is, detailed response, right? And over here, you can see casual, concise and casual. Is just keeping it short. And in French, this is it. Bonjour, gatekeeper HRO, jam latte, and what have you, right? At the end of the day, one entry will give you these 3 different responses that you can just read through and decide to send whichever you choose to send. So from here, you can see the profile of who sent it. And this is the organization I was talking about, which is the hierarchy of the organization. All right, gatekeeper works with these persons, is not reporting to anybody, is a shared mailbox actually. Okay, here you can open the content of the email. You can even from here ask Copilots to, do some certain things for you. Again, okay, just with the / you get all of those. And then this is the email. You can just open it by the side to get the content of the email. Okay, so all of this we know you can schedule the prompts to run at a particular time. You can save as notes, you can save as page or edit in page as well. Okay, now coming to Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio over time has improved. A lot of things have changed. There are a lot of addition now. I've not activated my credits. Otherwise, you can actually chat from here. Okay. This was the prompt I was sending earlier. It requires me to have some credits to make use of this chat conversation. So I'll need to go and activate mine before I can start using this chat. This is one of the introduction that came in. Another thing that came in since the introduction of this new experience, we now have this workflow. It works with GitHub Copilot, and what it does is it works with different workflows. It works with okay, look at some of the things it works with. This is where it starts. Let's say you have different agents that you want one to be working after one completed. They should jump to the next agents to perform another work like that. You can make use of agents. You can classify. These are for security category. These are for sensitivities and what have you. Microsoft 365 Copilot, human review, connector, function. So these are functions, individual functions of their own that you can add together, right, to create a flow that after this one finished working, the other one should come up. Let's say I'm putting agent here. Now it's starting from here. What should start it? Is it manual? Should it be, is it an reoccurring something? Is it a connector? Is it that if you enter, let's say enter an input, is it a text? Should somebody upload a file? Should somebody upload a file? And then once the file uploaded, trigger this agent. Once this agent finishes, what do you do next? Open Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, once that one finishes, open human review, right? So, or maybe open another agent again, process. These are processes on their own, functions on their own, right? This is one of the new things that they introduced ever since they created. You are seeing the review here, there are 13 errors because we are not making edits to any of those things to say once this happens, or this is the agent I want to work with, or let's say this agent now, I want to add a connector. This connector now is sign in. Let's say I'm signing in my account. Display username, enter a display username of this connector. Paul. Okay, let me just leave it at that. And I create. And then I'll need to sign in. Okay, I'm signing in. Okay, it has connected, and then new agents for this workflow. I want to select the agents that I want to be functioning at this stage, right? I do this. If I do this, I enter my message. Like it says, message is required. Connection name is Paul. Raw nodes, you just check, okay, from start, you enter value. From value, it will now trigger the flow. And once you are done with that, you come to Copilot, you add the connector, and then you select what you need to select. That is one of the things that Copilot has added. Then if you now come to agents, if you come to agents, yes, you see the list of agents you have built from this particular Copilot Studio. Now you see their status. This is draft. I entered this particular one, this N365 community. I entered it this afternoon or this morning while I was just trying to do a walk around. So this I can literally delete. I can delete. I can delete. I can make modification to an existing agent, and then and I will update, right? Now, if you look at these agents, but before we even come to see what we have in an existing agent, let's take a walk through to what you can actually add, or what you can actually use to make an agent come to life. Now, another thing I discovered today is agents now comes in two, right? Now, these agents that are coming, one, we have the one that uses credit. This one, they are called autonomous agents, and they answer questions on your behalf, right? You can decide to create them. And because I've not activated my credit, I will not be able to create one, right? However, I can actually turn down something, and then I give it the instruction. If I need to add skill, if I need to add tool, if I need to add knowledge, I do all of those. If I want to preview the agents, I preview from here. Evaluation, all of these are disabled for me. And as you can see, I need credits to continue doing this, right? End users preview. Okay, that is just it. Then if you come to the standard agent creation, you come to all of these agents, right? They are standard, as you can see, powered by standard, standard, standard. So if I do this and I come to standard creation, I can as well do this. If you do this, you just come in there straight up. Let's just wait for them to load up. Okay, I think my system is having a little bit of lagging. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have. If you do this directly, it's taking you to build the agent that uses credit, which is an autonomous agent. Then for the standard agent, this is where it takes you to, right? Here you enter the name of the agent. Nigeria, okay, let's add Nigeria 365 agents day. Now, once you have this, you can do a more option here, right? Over here, you see solution, you see language, and then you see schema name. Okay, schema name is quite different from your actual name. This, if you have ever done Active Directory before, right? In FISMO rules, there are what we call schema name. Schema name is actually the actual identity, right? That Microsoft Copilot or Microsoft Studio recognizes. This your own name is just a name that you know, right? You can make changes to this. So by default, it usually comes like this particular one that we have here. Now, why this solution? This solution is you create solutions actually. So it's more or less a solution. Okay, I'm calling it a solution again, right? It's more or less a platform that holds an agent and its components, related components per se, together. You can have several agents that perform several tasks, or maybe there are knowledge that are within the that you use in creating that agent, your connection, all the connectors, right? They will all be stored within this particular solution. For example, now you see that I have this solution here, and then there is default solution. It always comes with the organization, right? It always come with this organization. So once you build an agent, once you build a solution, it's more or less you saying anything that relates or concerns this particular agent, this is where I want this to be saving in. These are actually optional, right? Because they will always, be built by default. And then this will always enter a default solution, and then the name will just create this and then add the name of your agent together without any space. You can now go ahead and hit on create. Now, once you hit on create, I can just cancel this. Once you hit on create, it's going to take you to this page. Okay, still loading up. Okay, it's up now. So now, what you are seeing in this page, unlike the light version where you give a description to Copilot and then it helps you build the agent, then only for you to just review and then approve. Yeah, you have to start by this edit, right? And in this edit, you already have a name. Already can leave it, or if there is need for you to make changes to them, you go ahead. Yeah, you had an icon. You can add an icon here, and then you move ahead. Over here, you see that is more of what's it called, manual than Copilot helping you do stuff. So I said there is a new version, so I just need to refresh. so that we see the new interface. And yeah, I will go back and then toggle off the new experience so we can see what the classic experience look like. I'm toggling this off. Nothing. I'm missing the feature I need. Let me just pick this and then I submit. Okay. So this is still coming up. Okay. So this is the new interface. It's looking pretty much like the classic anyways, but it's fine. Okay. So over here, my system is just lagging. It's lagging. So sorry. Okay. Yes. The name, the logo, you just need to click on this edit to do that. And as well as the description, right? You enter the description. This is agent status. One is warning. You can review what is warning. I wonder what I've entered. I started warning. State, draft, sources, evaluation, category quality. No evaluation has been run on this agent. Run one to verify quality before publishing. Okay, this is an agent I've not built, right? So what do I need to now and do evaluation on? So it's just saying that I should test before I publish. That is the warning. It's not something serious. Now, by the right, you can see test your agent. Now, at every stage you get to, right? At any stage you get to, and you feel the need to test the agent to see the functionality, you can easily come here and enter your prompt for testing. As you can see, hello, I'm NM365 Agents D. How can I help you? All right. So now when you enter the description, you come here and you select a model you want the agents to be using. You know, it's built on GPT and Cloud Sonnet. So you can come and create you can come and select any of the reasoning, the models you want the agent to be using. Always advise you use the latest version, right? But this one talking about reasoning, 5 talking about reasoning, and this is just talking about charts. You can just review based on what you need, you enter with. And then for your instruction, brethren, I would advise you do not, yeah, the thing is just have the idea of what you want to do, all right? Have the idea. Be able to express yourself as per what you want. Because at the end of the day, your agent bank on your instruction to function. That is your brain that you have put into work to say this is how you should act. It's more or less you transferring brain to it, transferring your idea, knowledge, everything to it. So it shouldn't act out of what you have instructed it to do. So to get maximum output from instruction, right? I always advise make use of Copilots to generate your instruction. All you need to do, you can use the chart, you can use this guy by the side on your Edge. That is one reason Edge is my favorite browser on the system. So in this case, right, pour your heart out. Describe what you want. Tell it how you want it. And then tell it that you need an instruction a detailed instruction that can carry out that function for your Copilot agents that you are building. Copilot will help you, that's Copilot charts now, will help you build a very special, specific, direct, detailed prompts or instruction for you. It will even segment it and put it into sections, right? In the sense that if you need to change anything, all you need to do is to identify that section, go into it, and make your changes to it, right? So here you enter your instruction. Now, for your knowledge, you add knowledge from here. enter your knowledge. These are several places you can import knowledge. You can upload public websites, SharePoint, Azure AI Search, Dataverse, Dynamics 365, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Azure SQL. This basically depends on who you are, what you do, and the task that you are meant or you want the agents to perform for you. These are some advanced tools or knowledge that you can, or places you can add in knowledge to your agent. All of these places, right? Now, we are not adding any knowledge. I'm just showing us around. And over here, you see the web search, enable your agent to search your public website. If you want your agent to do that, fine, you can enable it. But if it's to perform a particular task, please toggle it off, right? A tool. You see, we still have all of these things here, right? But you can do them from the overview page. You add your tool, you add your triggers, you add your agents, and then you add your topics. Now, and then you add your suggested prompts as well. You see that everything here, you do them manually, right? They are more advanced agents. Now, let's discuss each and every one of them individually. Now, we talked about knowledge. We have talked about knowledge enough. That is just the source where it gets its information from and nothing more, right? Just in case, take this and give me that. And mind you, it's still save as you go. You just see this guy rolling every now and then. So if I come to tools, what are tools? Now, tools are some of those actions that, or some of those applications, some of those tools that can perform an actions by themselves and on their own, right? All you need is, okay, you want these agents to be able to call that tool and to let it function. So it's more or less an engine. You need this to get work done. And Copilot will now call it to say, hey, bro, come and get this. To do that, you would have stated it in your instruction that when a user comes to say XYZ, call this particular guy, that is when you would call it, and then it will just go and then it will call it. And some of these tools that you can add, you see, you can add an agent flow. So you can actually build a flow from your Power Platform by Power Automate, right? And anyone that's the trigger as when a Copilot, when an agent calls, then it should show up here. So now I don't know why my system is lagging. I'm doing call an agent flow, right? Okay, the agent's flow, right? Yeah, it requires you to build the flow on your own. As you can see, when an agent calls the flow, is the trigger, and then respond to the agent is the conclusion of the flow. So in between here is where you build the subsequent actions that you want the flow to perform. Then you can build the flow right from here, and then you add it. So you can always come to this flow to build a flow, and then you come here to attach it. So this is where we are. It's still in draft. So that is what tools does for you. And then agents, right? Agents, the same way we have in workflows. Agents now means that you can integrate two agents to work together. Now you have an agent that is existing, performing a task, and you have this one that you are using as well. You have this one that you are building, and you need these particular agents to be coming up at a particular time or to be responding at a particular time. You can add this particular agent to the agents that you are building, and then you configure it and tell it how to work, when to work, and how you want it to work, right? This is the agent. Yes, this is it. You just give a description, input, completion, and what have you. Then topics. This is another important part of it. What is topics? Before we even go into what topics are, right? Let's first of all see the existing topics that are here. I think by seeing what topics are, we can be able, or some of the topics that are here already, we'll be able to see something. If you open this thank you, right? This is just topics is just a guide to how Copilot how Copilot responds to your responses and to your requests rather. Now, this particular tool, right? This particular tool, when this tool can handle queries like this, thanks, thank you so much. Now, is in text. The thing is, if you say thank you, if you say thanks, if you say thank you so much, what should happen is the topic should tell you are welcome. So sometimes when you send the prompts to your chat to say hello, it will respond, hello, how are you doing this morning? It's not his brain, right? It is working with topics. It's just a pattern. You describe how you actually want it to work. The flow it should follow. You can actually use this to to create tasks as well, right? Then we come to activities. Now, these activities are actions that your Copilot can perform or even have performed, right? It just tell you on this date, so those test on last turn, blah, 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 right? So let's come to time is against us, so sorry. Let's just come to this existing Copilot Studio, this Copilot agents that we've built an existing agent and see some of the items that were integrated. So while that is coming up, we also have what we call monitor. Then monitoring is more like real-time tracking of the behavior of the agents. That is where you see conversations that are happening, errors, the flow triggers, and what have you, right? Now you see name. This is the name. Description. The gatekeeper, HRO, this does that. And then if you come to instruction, the instruction I was telling us about that Copilot will help you to build. Copilot build this for me. You are this, HRO functioning as this. You are meant to do this. Your support is this and that. When this come, you see when a user, now single user onboarding, right? When a user requests for single user onboarding, creates the following, it will ask me for the following. If I supply them, okay, go and trigger this guy. There is a tool here that it should come and trigger. User onboarding, user offboarding. So at the end of the day, is able to function as expected. And then I put this knowledge here, just in case an engineer that is onboarding a task has confusion at any point and needs clarification, he can just quickly ask, what colors of system is meant for full staff, right? Maybe you are doing onboarding and you need clarification. You can quickly use the same agent to send a chat, right? I don't know if this is contained in that particular document. Okay, staff ID badge color used to indicate, could you clarify color system for PC assignment? I'm not sure if that is there actually, right? So you see as it's working, it cannot get that. Now, when I do onboard a single user, full stack company generally specifies strike a color, blue or green. I don't need all of this. Okay. So if I say onboard a single user, let's see what happens. You see, it's asking me for this information. Now it has started though. I don't want to do that. Let's start a new chat, something that will be easy for me to do, right? New test session. I want to do offboard, right? Offboard a user. Now, if I do offboard a user, let's see what it's going to give me. Please apply the user principal name. Important, it must belong to one of these domains. If not, now let me do paul@gmail.com. paul@gmail.com, right? Now, ideally, it should go, but because it is specified in my instruction that do not accept requests from any other domain apart from these two domains that are here, right? Now, if I do this and I do NM365 at this domain and I enter now, right? Look at what will happen on this screen. It's telling me, confirm that you want to offboard this request. Are you sure it's a user this? I say yes, confirmed. If I can do yes, right? Now, it's trying to call on something, right? It has lost connection. Look at what it has called, user offboarding flow. How did this know that I want to do offboarding? The fact that I have the tool supply, it needs that my instruction to say, when I send this request, answer or trigger this particular tool. And that is what you see it doing here. Now, if I should, let me see if it's something I can quickly show us before we call it a day. Time is already against us. Okay, it's user offboarding, right? So let's do user offboarding and quickly do this. Okay, now I'm submitting. Just so I can reestablish connection. It's been long. I use this particular agent. That is why you're having it there, right? Now, I have done that. I can retry. It's most likely to give me error. I'm not sure, but you see it working, right, on this flow. You see it processing here. It will process. It will send me a mail. Okay, while this is going, let me check my Power Automate because I use Power Automate flow, right? Now it's still processing. Of course, user offboarding can take a lot of time. Okay, so now if I open my flows, I want to locate that particular flow and see what is happening on the ground. So we're still working because it's meant to perform a very detailed and long actions like that. Okay. All right. Just okay. So my flows, coming to my flows. All right, user offboarding flow. Now, if I open this guy, if I open this guy and I want to check the history of my run, you see, I didn't come here to run anything. It's saying August 22, 6:10 p.m., 1 minute ago. It is still running. It has taken 1 minute, 16 seconds to run. So it's still running. Let's see the progress it has made so far. Oh, okay. I see the reason why it will not proceed yet, right? I need to go and approve that request. Okay. So one thing first is coming to say approve the request. So you see now, okay, let it just load. I need us to round up on time. Okay. Here we go. Okay. This is it. And I need to accept. Now I approve. Proof now, send you classic. We're still using Classic. So I hope we get the idea. That is the most important part. Now, this thing fails from here, right? Because it takes too long for that approval to complete. It takes too long for that particular approval to complete. It doesn't mean that it's going to fail entirely. Anytime I approve of it or reject it, it will send an email. Now, if I had rejected it, right? If I had rejected it or approved of it, this guy would have told me that, okay, it has gone through all the offboarding processes and all the outcome will be communicated to me via my mailbox and it would have ended there. And then the outcome of the run will now come to my mailbox. I think we have actually done enough. Let me just approve this and see. Though I know it doesn't make, okay, the approval also comes to my OneDrive. Okay, so this is saying it has been approved. And I mean, the approval comes through my Power Automate. Okay, now the process will still continue. It's not like it's failing from here. So you can now continue the tracking, right? You can continue the tracking from here. My flows. From my flows, if I come here, I should see the history of the run, if it has completed or not. Or if it fails at any point, 4 minutes and it's still running. Okay, just trying to fulfill some conditions and then to finish up. Okay. So acceptance is true. If it was rejection, the submission would have. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I believe so far we've been able to demonstrate all that needed to be demonstrated or all that could be demonstrated with the limited time that we have. I'm so sorry if we didn't get everything, but I'm sure we have touched every part of it, apart from one. So sorry again, I'm coming back. We have channels, right? Channels. In channels, what you do in channels is where you want, that I think has been completed. Okay. You see, user offboarding completed, group removed because the user is not in my not in my directory. Otherwise, it would have removed it from any group they are, roles they belong there that they have, licenses that they have. Their mailbox would have been converted to shared mailbox. OneDrive would have been archived, and the delegation will be sent to the manager. And if there's no manager, to IT units and head. Active session would have been revoked, and the account status would have been disabled, all from within an agent, just with interaction, a chatbot. Do this for me, do that for me, do that for me, and it's able to trigger this, and then it will just perform this function. Is it the user creation? Is it bulk? Is it single? And all of that. All right, so now channels. Channels is where you want these agents to be in, right? Where you want them to be, where you want to be using them. Do you want to be using them M365 and Microsoft Teams? Do you want to be using them in SharePoint? Do you want to be using them in Teams phone agents? Do you want to be using them on a demo site, on a public website, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on GroupMe, on Telegram? You can publish these agents to be working in various channels. For example, to just show us my Teams, let me just quickly show us this. Let me share the entire screen this time around. If I come to my Teams, right? If I come to my Teams, I'm just going to change this guy to this guy. Now, in this guy, you see that I have a Gatekeeper HRO solution. If I come here, I can view my prompt. You see my suggested prompt here. View prompt. bulk onboarding, bulk user onboarding. If I send, it's going to give me the instruction because I've not configured it to accept files directly to upload to my what is it called, to my document SharePoint site, document library rather. So yeah, it's giving me the instruction. I can click the link from here. I can download from here. I can do basic everything, and these are the requirements giving me the instructions. If I say offboard a single user and send, this thing you are seeing in Teams that I'm interacting with Teams, which I can use my phone to do, is the same thing that you have on the web, right? These are what we call channel. You push the agents to various places you want them to be used. You can share with specific people. You can share with a team. You can share with a group, which is Teams as well. You can share with the entire organization, and you can even roll it out to the outside world to use. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have spent additional 18 minutes of our time, and I would, with this, say thank you for your audience. Thank you for the time. This will bring us to the end of this section, unless we have any question, reservation, anything at all that you want me to know or you want clarification on, then Juliet will tell us what to do next. Thank you very much again. Unfortunately, we could not do SharePoint. However, I'm hopeful that we learned something today.
Thank you very much, Paul, for that detailed section. It was really eye-opening. We just have a few questions on the chat where someone asked, can we use Power Automate to build an agent? And second question is, what is the difference between Power Automate and Microsoft Copilot Studio? If you can just throw more.
There are a lot of differences actually. So now let's start with if you can build an agent with Power Automate. No, that is just a simple answer. However, you can use Power Automate to build an agent for Copilot. Sorry, you can build a flow for Copilot agents to leverage on. It becomes an engine where you now introduce the Copilot agents in form of a tool, just the same way I demonstrated the onboarding and offboarding. All of those agents, all of those tools lives and dies within Microsoft Power Automate. However, they becomes, not every end users you will give access to Flow to go and use, right? But you can select specific users that non-technical users can use chat bots, right? So now, this particular agent that I just demonstrated with is meant to be used by HRO. HRO are not technical people who you will say, go and use Power Automate Flow. They may not know how to go. So instead of doing that, you now bring the flow to agent, you instruct the agent on how to behave and, trigger those flow. You now give it as a front end to your HRO. HRO now interacted with it, right? When HRO say A plus B, it's easy for HRO to say what is a noun. A noun is the name of any person, right? The same way, all you just need to do is to give them a lecture on how to use the agent within Teams, within anywhere you are deploying it to for them, and then they can be able to interact with it. Now, the difference is clear. Each are meant for different purposes. Power Automate can only give you flows. I know there are different actions that you can make use of beyond just agents, beyond just performing tasks. Power Automate can actually do, Microsoft Copilot agent can actually do a lot for you. Is a chatbot, is a research bot, is, agent you can tailor, and like you can do a lot, within it. It's not limited to just the flow alone. You can see some of the tools that you can integrate. You can even build a flow from inside of Copilot Studio. So yeah, it's robust. It just needs some few codes, low codes. You can see everything that I've built. I didn't even use a single line of code. No single line of code at all. If you want to now even talk about code, talking about functions, I've probably used those in Power Automate, right? So that is it basically. Is that clear?
Yes, okay, I'm okay with it now. Okay.
Thank you very much. Juliet, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul, for that. In the absence of any other question, or do we have a question again? Any more question? All right. Thank you, everyone. Oh, is someone speaking?
I said no.
All right. Thank you guys for joining the meetup. I have posted our YouTube where you can see all of the recorded videos, including this one, for you to rewatch and catch up on anything that you missed. And a big thank you to our speaker for joining us and bringing such insights into creating agents in Microsoft Copilot. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Bye.
All right. See you guys when we see again. Bye.